Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Yesterday, understandably, fittingly, we were talking about the Ondo elections, the results, and all of that, and the aftermath. Actually, we thought we'd be doing something else today, but then we noticed that there's still quite some talk about the processes that led up to the election and the way, the party might feel, the party APC. Much, perhaps too much in some instances, is being made of the fact that the man who won was not the man that Tinubu had supported. Tinubu wasn't against him, is one read, but he didn't support his candidature. He supported someone else. And after all of that, there's been a lot of talk, and so I called up my buddy, Amadeli Boyo, him being a non-strictly political type, and said, let's talk about this because it seems to be in the marketplace. Tinubu maintained this golden silence throughout the entire process. It's been referred to as a golden silence, quite worrying. People thought it was ominous. But in the end, Tinubu was among the very first to congratulate Akeredolu and then say that now let's move on, let's get to work, let all APC members close ranks, just the kind of things that you would expect any key leader and builder of a party to say. But there was still this persistence, all is not well yet. Thankfully, President Muhammadu Buhari got in on the act and said that Tinubu is priceless to us, and anybody suggesting that there are problems or that the party is working against Tinubu, any such baloney, it's unfounded. Well, give me your perspective on this whole matter about trying to make more of Tinubu in this election than perhaps what we have on the ground.
Yeah, very interesting, because at the end of the day, most people thought that the AD candidate was a stooge planted there to make sure that Akeredolu failed. And also, right from the beginning, when Tinubu did not participate, especially the last campaign, and the president came to Akure,
yes,
and they were not looking for the president, they were looking for Tinubu instead.
Okay.
And when they didn't see the Asiwaju there, they felt, oh, wow, it's all done now. The pot has broken, and then everything is now in disarray. And so they felt that this is going to be a big thing, that if Akeredolu wins, Tinubu will be brought to shame. But at the end of the day, he didn't talk. He didn't explain why he didn't come for the rally, and he didn't say anything about it. He kept observers very worried. And then
a sort of strategic silence.
Yes, if I may call it that way. Then people started planting stories, because in Nigeria, there is no room for vacuum.
We will not allow a vacuum.
We must really plant a story. So people started reading meanings, insinuations, and innuendos. And the whole concept was to make it appear that the wise man had lost grip of the party, and that the party was not just in disarray, but that people were now trying to crown another leader in the party. And when it now appeared that Tinubu congratulated Akeredolu,
that was another signal. And now people couldn't understand it. At least those detractors.
That was a sledgehammer. And it made so it has.
Sorry for interrupting. If that from Tinubu was a sledgehammer, it probably is equally a sledgehammer coming from Muhammadu Buhari, that Tinubu is priceless.
Yeah, it was also good for Buhari to say that, because people have been saying that there had been a pattern of ways, and both of them had not really been getting along in the last few months. There were innuendos that maybe it didn't take enough of Tinubu to the cabinet. He has not been carrying Tinubu along. Even there was a time that people said that it was difficult for the Asiwaju to see him, to see the president, and that the president had gone incommunicado, as it were. So people were beginning to see all those things as signs of the end.
And only God knows how true that is. And I mean, did Tinubu complain that the president has gone incommunicado?
Neither did the president complain.
Neither did the president.
But you see, the point is that observers, there are people that like their survival is based on innuendos and writing scripts. They are script writers, so they determine the flow of rumors and everything. But when the election ended and the Mimiko congratulated, well, at least told Akeredolu that, look, I'm ready for the transition. And one of the factions of the PDP, headed by Jimo, congratulated Akeredolu, and then they found out that the Asiwaju himself now congratulated him. People began to feel as if this looked like an anticlimax, because Ondo has always been known to be a very violent place when it comes to elections. Remember Moborio, remember all those things that happened in the 60s and the 79 elections when people were killed in war.
Well, in addition to the violence, people talk about the political sophistication of the people of Ondo as well.
Yes, if I do some sophistication that leads to these things, and when it's not properly handled, that the violence comes about. But this year, apart from the skirmishes that occurred in a war, a few days to the elections, where it was rumored that some 1 or 2 persons died, the whole election was peaceful. It was peaceful.
Yet the talk continues, Amadili. So actually the question might even perhaps dare be asked. So who's afraid of Tinubu? Why so much effort to, as it were, put a wedge, whatever the two gentlemen have between them, that is President Buhari and Asiwaju Tinubu, whatever is going on between them. I don't know that Tinubu actually ever called a meeting and says, look, my people, but people will still make a case. There's no way of hiding the fact that Tinubu was not entirely pleased, and he voiced as much. He voiced as much, But we move on, and people think that the man is so sagacious when it comes to politics. So we just leave it for now.
Yeah, but I think.
But people are building.
I think by coming here, I think Tinubu has learned lessons from the late sage Obafemi Awolowo that. You don't always win all the time.
Okay, one moment, please, because Babatunde wants to join this conversation, and we do want us to hear as many viewpoints as possible.
That's good.
Babatunde from Mokwa, if I heard it right. Mokwa?
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Babatunde.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Okay.
Please, one contribute about the issue of that the election in Ondo State. People have said a lot of things about
Babatunde, could you help us mute your television set? Use your remote to mute your television set.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes, I think we can hear you better now.
Yeah. Some people are saying different things about the Asiwaju. Say, didn't congratulate the Akeredolu, you don't like it, you know, do this, do that. I know it's a political strategy because some people, they are just saying the things they didn't see, they didn't witness at all. So they just want make the name of the Asiwaju spoil, or they want to spoil the party. All those the people they are doing the same their opponents.
All right then. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Babatunde. Thank you for calling in. But Tinubu was among the very, very first to congratulate the Ondo governor-elect Rotimi Akeredolu SAN. So I don't know if you understood that already, or because he said something about that. So it looks like there's something going on where if the two gentlemen don't handle it carefully, they could be persuaded that the other is working, against the other. That is between Tinubu and Buhari, which we don't have any evidence that Tinubu feels, or for that matter, following the president's statement, that Buhari feels.
Yeah, there's always a fifth columnist. So there are always fifth columnists. There are always people at the end of the day whose job it is to want to redefine the story, and then they come up with all these things.
And they speak with very large authority.
Yeah, you almost think that they were.
They don't suggest. They state.
They state it as a matter of fact, so to speak.
One moment, please. Yes. Let me take Mr. Yakub again, calling in from Dokwemo. Good morning, Yakub.
Yeah, good morning, Chief Ari. And then good morning to your guests in the studio.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, Chief Ari. Now that Chief Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Gabambo of Borno, and the Asiwaju of Lagos State, I said this thing now that it congratulates Akeredolu. That is why, Yori, you now know a true politician. This is how to tell you some people that play a joker. They want to play a joker in the sense that they want Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and presidency to have a risk. But do you know that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, one of the politicians in this country, that he knows very well how to play a game, and then he does not play a false game, because the reason is this: if Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu should say that he wants to work against APC, the party that he built from a scratch, he jeopardizes his own personal interest to make this party stay. Today, I don't my heart for the man, because it is somebody that every politician should look up to, because he always knows what to do at the right time. And then I give kudos to him. Thank you and God bless you.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much.
Very straight to the point. Very straight to the point. And that's what. So what I'm saying is that apparently it appears as if the Asiwaju has learned a lot from the way that Obafemi Awolowo had dealt with people that fell out with him, because we know the late Sage was very insistent, and when he drew a line across the sand, it was finished, you know, in most cases. But this case, he found that he had to be smart and had to be very, very wise.
And pragmatic as well.
And pragmatic. In fact, it's all about pragmatism. You're correct. So at the end of the day, he had found out that, well, he wasn't an enemy of Akeredolu. All that simply happened was that people felt he favored the other contestant against Akeredolu in the primary. And the way they did not congratulate Akeredolu after the primaries and maybe giving me a hug or maybe going further than that, made people to feel as if, wow, this is the man that that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was supporting. So when eventually Akeredolu won, people just felt that he will never accept it. He will never accept it. And when he did accept it, wow, the bubble busted.
We'll take a break there, but don't go anywhere, please. We'll be right back, and we look forward to your calls. Okay, welcome back, and we're looking at, well, President Buhari's statement, Tinubu is priceless. It's all about, our conversation this morning is about crying wolf where there is none. Reverend Dominic, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Yori, how are you?
Thank you very much for calling.
Yesterday, I told you how I jealous our West politicians, especially the Yorubas. They have a sophisticated way to handle their matter. And I jealous them. But this thing, I must say, I listened to the governor-elect of Ondo State, his acceptance speech. I thought he could have paid credit to Asiwaju. He did not do that. I may be wrong or right. I didn't watch the whole speech. But I think I watched it to a very extent. When he give credit to the president, when he give credit to people of Ondo State and the party, but he didn't give credit to Asiwaju, which we quite understood. But I was surprised when I heard Asiwaju congratulating him. Which means in politics, it's not a civil war. It's not Boko Haram war. It is a war of intelligence. When the other person wins by spirit argument, you say congratulations and you move forward. Because the interest is about the people, not about personal interest. So Asiwaju is a man of big heart. And let me say this, I'm not a Yoruba man, I'm not a PC person, I'm a social critic and a prophet of this nation. Without Asiwaju, there will be no change. There's a simple gospel truth. Without Asiwaju bringing the West politics, bringing the APC and the Yoruba people to so-called, what we call APC today, that could have been Buhari presidency. So whether you like it or not, whether you hate him or not, he must have that respect. And that man has done very well for this nation. It doesn't matter what you think about politicians. Asiwaju has done well to keep what I call the position alive. Even in the days of AG, when Obasanjo had him on throat, the man stood the ground. Unlike other politicians who have fell out, but he stood his ground, and we have what we call change today, which have given the Democrats, which have given this civil rule another space to grow to democracy. We don't have democracy here. What we have here is civil rule. But Asiwaju is nurturing it. We have known today that at least we can change button from civil rule to non-civil rule. That could go to Asiwaju. I jealous him. It's one man I will have to see one day, and I will shake his hand. I say congratulations, sir.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Reverend Dominic, for calling in. You know, perhaps fueling all of the whole consternation, it's virtually become an imbroglio now, is the fact that, well, again, this is politics. It's many people that will be seen as Asiwaju's
antagonists.
Well, before even getting to his antagonist, the fact that he raised many people politically.
Okay.
And
Godfather.
Well, yes, if you want to use the term, that we wouldn't have known of if not for him citing them and bringing them and developing them. Now, some of those people actually did not see it the way Asiwaju saw it as well. And that has probably now led to, and by the way, I'm sure Asiwaju will be the first to grant that it's their prerogative. This is politics, it's democracy. But it's now fueled a situation where now some public figures are being referred to as Buhari boys, some are being referred to as Tinubu boys, and quite frankly, it's a mess. And Tinubu came through all of that, congratulated the man who won, and that should be some sort of a beacon for how people are to go, as President Buhari's priceless remark should be as well, perhaps.
Yes, that's true. But, you know, in this country, there are people that their survival is based on rumors. Their survival is based on you know, fermenting trouble.
I beg your pardon.
Yes.
Because it's a very far place, let's go over to Kebbi State, where Adamu is waiting to add his voice to this conversation. Good morning, Mr. Adamu.
Good morning, Mr.
Yori.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in.
Good morning. Please, I want to contribute to what you are discussing.
We'd love you to.
Okay? Please, let me be clear. Mr. Tinubu is my mentor, is my leader, is the leader of APC. But all what he wants to do is to reflect himself. He should not assume the position of God. God has given him respect. And he should not assume the position of God. What I mean here is that since he was respected by the party, he should hold on to that respect that he has for the party. Because he cannot say unless whoever he likes that might the candidate. It's impossible. Why? Because people of own destiny have their own choice. If you have their own choice, if at least people of own destiny to abide his choice, then that very candidate is going to serve his own interest, not the interest of the people. So I want you to please and please accept yourself, and you should know that the new politics of today. It's not all that of yesterday. We cannot be longer be marginalized. Or we cannot be longer be controlled from somebody. Somebody will be living in Lagos and be controlling somebody in Ondo. It's impossible. And those people have their own choice.
All right then.
Yeah,
okay, thank you very much, Mr. Adamu, for calling. That is one of the planks of the criticism against Tinubu. Tinubu is not God with a small g.
The point here is this, that I don't know if he has followed the story up to what we are discussing today, because the mere fact of congratulating a person you apparently
he started off by saying he admires Tinubu as a matter of fact.
Because Tinubu's congratulation of Akeredolu has already made him not to be claiming to be God. Because if he was to play God, he would say he wouldn't even have congratulated him. So we have accepted what he's saying. And we are simply saying that, yeah, you are correct. Nobody can play God. At the end of it, anybody that tries to play God eventually will fail, because you can't be God.
Yeah, but did Tinubu try to play God? Is another question that some might even ask. Could we look at that question, please?
Because
but it's out there.
People of Ondo State have also had their way. And yet, like he said, like the other speaker said, that he noticed that Akeredolu congratulated everybody and then congratulated Tinubu. That also makes for wisdom. Because at the end of the day, it also shows that even though Tinubu was not congratulated, he still had the wisdom to accept and greet Akeredolu, because he would have been playing childish if he said, "Oh, you didn't congratulate me, so I'm not going to even congratulate back." No, he didn't do that. So Akeredolu not mentioning Tinubu's name is of no consequence, because at the end of the day, the most important thing there is that Tinubu has come, as it appears now, to have congratulated him.
Yes.
And Akeredolu congratulated the people from Ondo State. They had their way, and they chose him.
It's only natural, perhaps, that people are going to be listening to every minutiae of this.
Because they're looking for trouble when there's not, trying to create or ferment.
Mr. Adedoyin in Ikorodu, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Adedoyin. Mr. Yori. Yeah. I made a comment yesterday that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a priceless factor in this country. I want to disassociate myself from the last caller who says Tinubu is seeing himself as God. No! He doesn't understand what politics is all about. I read political science. I know what power is all about. You understand? For somebody to have fought, you understand, from grassroots, you understand, to the state level, to the federal level, if not for Tinubu, come, for God's sake. People forget about history, for God's sake, in this country. He's a national leader. The interest of all the states in Nigeria should be his interest as well. I don't know. But let me tell you something. Tinubu, as far as I'm concerned, he has built so many people in this country. compared to any politician in this country. You understand? You can't take it from me.
All right, then.
Human resources manager.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Adedoyin. Well, Tinubu himself is no spring chicken, so he knows. He knows this is it. As you say, if I were to try and speak Yoruba in English, this is the world. I mean, this is the world for you.
This is the world for
and
you.
I suppose he's a lot more experienced than most of us in that particular aspect of life.
But there's something he said.
Sure.
There's something he said, which is the investment he has made in people's lives.
Yes.
And the fact that at the end of the day, all over the world, including the United States of America and Europe, the older politicians always are interested in whoever is coming in. Whether they fail, whether they do it rightly or wrongly, there's no way you can run a party without showing interest in who becomes what in every state of the country. You shouldn't force it down people's throats. The first thing is to make sure that you are eradicating people you think are incompetent, people you think are corrupt, or people you think do not understand the party's manifestos and ultimate vision. Now, at the end of the day, when you begin to cut down on people like that, you find that people begin to raise eyebrows and they now think you are manipulative. In fact, there's no politician who is worthy of his calling, who does not play games that appear manipulative. But at the end of the day, where wisdom comes in is when you find out that when you know how to understand the system, that look, I can't win all the time. This person here is also good. For Akeredolu to have qualified to contest the primary alone shows that he had something in the pipeline to offer.
And people need to remember perhaps that the first attempt at Akeredolu at the office, was it not Tinubu who was behind it?
Yes, 2011.
2011.
And he lost.
And indeed, he lost.
Yeah, he lost.
Okay, I've got to go to another break. Let me do another break and then we'll come back. Please keep those phone calls coming. Welcome back, and continuing our discussion. Tinubu, a priceless political asset, according to President Muhammadu Buhari. Mr. George, good morning, sir. Thank you for holding on.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Uncle Yori, those who are saying that Tinubu is playing God, is either they do not have sufficient information to make their conclusions, or they are part of those who want to derail this government. I will keep on saying that the president should go beyond talking. They say action speaks louder than words. I like what you said yesterday, but I want him to follow it up with actions. What the threat or the caller that was talking about Tinubu playing God, what he said, those are the things you see mischief makers telling the president. Don't mind him. He is trying to be a god. You are the boss. Whatever you say should be the final. What they are trying to do, Uncle Yori, is to cause a friction between these two figures. And they know that if they are able to do that to Tinubu, then they will truncate this administration and all the fight against corruption. So the president should watch out and try and know those who are his genuine friends. Anybody that tries to separate him from Tinubu does not love him and does not love Nigeria. I will continue to say it at every opportunity that I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. And in addition, part of the mischief, that's going on out there, Tinubu at one time was accused of working against his own party, the party that he built. The presidency, in its statement yesterday, says it puts no stock in that at all, that it does not see that Tinubu asserted that he would not work against the party, and according to the presidency, he kept his word. And so he's a political...
That text came from Gabashio. And if you read the whole thing, the president was very, very blunt. It wasn't like a speech that was going left and right. I know it was very blunt to say, look, this guy, I have no problem with him. this guy and I were working together. It now depends on whether, as this man has said, mischief makers. If mischief makers, that doesn't mean of mischief. Mischief is mischief. And being mischievous means you can call white black in order to cause confusion.
Exactly. So it's left to the two elders to just discountenance all of this stuff, and then maybe help the rest of us to, you know, settle down and get to work. Mr. Daniel, calling in from Ikoyi.
Good morning, Mr. Yori, and good morning to your guests.
Good morning, sir.
Good to have you on The Man with the Golden Voice once again. Straight to the point. With regards to your conversation this morning, I find it very, very strange, and I'm coming from another angle, totally different. I give you instances.
Sure.
Mr. President is playing completely smart on Asiwaju Tinubu, and I will tell you my reasons. When it came to the time of appointing people into positions of authority in the country, he was given a dirty blow. They gave him a dirty blow in Kogi State, and then now they give him another dirty blow in Ondo State, and all he does after doing what he does, that Mr. President does, is to simply massage the ego of Mr. Tinubu. That is why in return, Mr. Tinubu himself is also playing smart. So it is a very, very clear situation playing out itself here. It's all about 2019. But unfortunately, I know who the next president of Nigeria will be. If you want me to go ahead and predict, I will go ahead, Mr. Yuri. But that is not why I'm calling. But if you want me to go ahead and tell you who the next president of Nigeria is, I'll go ahead and tell you now. Just like I said, it was going to be Trump, and I was doubted, and then it came to pass.
Throw it in as a bonus.
You want me to tell you?
Throw it in as a bonus.
The next president of Nigeria is Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Mark my words, when it happens, give me a call and invite me to your program. Have a nice day, the man with the golden voice. You are doing such a great job.
Thank you very much for calling in. Now that's a curveball.
I wonder why you're laughing.
Now that's a curveball.
I don't know why you're laughing.
Because he said that is not why I called.
Okay.
But and then he dared us. And we don't like dares on TM. We don't like dares on TM. We said throw it in as a bonus. And then he dropped that particular one.
So bold.
Yeah. But
looking at the crystal ball.
Really. I thought he was going to say, I know who will not be president. But he said, I know who will.
That was one that said, I know who will not be president. So he was being very bold. Yeah.
But to the substance of Daniel's call, he said that these are high wire games going on, and I don't know. You see, again, we're going to have to let people go ahead and interpret these things the way they interpret it. Yeah. Indeed, this is what the politicians intend themselves when they fly these kites. Sometimes without, you know, being overt in doing so.
Yes. But at the end of the day, like what he said, I mean, you know, if Buhari wants to massage Tinubu's ego, because what he's trying to say is that Buhari,
which is not a very complimentary term. It's not a very complimentary term. But again, commentators are allowed to do this.
I won't take his men to my cabinet. After that, I say he's a great man. I won't allow him to have his way in Kogi State. Then after that, I come out and say he's a great man. I won't allow him to have his way in Ondo State. I come out and say he's a great man. One thing is clear. If you're really playing all these things, you eventually shoot yourself in the foot. Because the man you are doing that to is also not a fool. Because at the end of the day, all what we are saying now is that the man is congratulating Akeredolu. And the man is working with the governor-elect of Ondo State, ready to work with the governor-elect of Ondo State. And
the man is not working against the party he helped build.
Yes, and that's what we want to do.
I'm sorry, I got to take Mr. Olusegun calling in from Egbeda. Good morning, sir. And the man is not working against the party he helped build. Are you there, Mr. Olusegun? I think we're going to have to consider that there's a problem with that particular line.
Yes. So
I'm being assured that he is there. Mr. Olusegun, would you like to say something?
Yes, I want to say something.
Please go ahead.
Yes, as regards to what is happening in Nigeria. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
What is happening in Nigeria? You see, there are lots of insiders who create problem among group of people or politicians. They do a lot of rumors and a lot of side talks has already made things difficult among people. what I will advise is that we should not listen to most of the rumor we hear over in the news that carried about.
All right then.
Try our possible best and let the leaders be focused.
All right then.
Because the moment they are talking, Tinubu said this, Tinubu is this, is that. When we have politics, there must be disagreement, and how they resolve this disagreement should be within them. We should not be interested in peddling rumors all about.
Thank you very much for calling in. And I suppose this whole matter of focus, maybe the thing to do is for us to focus on both President Muhammadu Buhari and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and just watch their actions. Yes. You know, watch what they say, watch what they do, and go with that. Go with that. But you said we don't. You said we don't allow vacuums, and
yes, no, we don't. And don't forget social media. Social media is also there. And social media is not just. I mean, there are many irresponsible sites that they draw people. They get traffic into their sites by spinning stuff. They just go about the place and say things that they know will attract people to the site, and then people visit there, and they now. You get whatever you want to get online.
Indeed. And in any case, online. Different strokes for different folks. Yes. The other day I saw very few people are closer to Tinubu than, what's this senator now?
Is it
Senator Ashafa. Yes. I saw on Facebook yesterday, I saw his congratulations to, so it looks like all Tinubu's men, so-called, are taking a cue from Tinubu and are just, and I suppose that's how it is. But I have someone else on the line. Good morning. Taufik from Oshobo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
Good morning today. Your analyst to you.
Yeah, good morning.
This is Mr. Yori. Asiwaju is truly Asiwaju. He has put really the Jagaba of the war. This is the man that knows how to play the politics, and is playing it nicely. I appreciate him. Now he put people in suspense. Everybody has been saying that Tinubu is this, Tinubu is that, Tinubu is this, Tinubu is that. But today, he proved it, and he got the ultimate result from the presidency. It's priceless. What else? Please forget about whatever people are saying. Social media now these days, I believe at times they create more problems than what we have.
Indeed. Thank you very much for...
I wish them all well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Taufik. Because at the end of the day, we have to get on with work. There's so much right now. All of this, there's a sense in which it's a distraction. But I think between President Buhari and Asiwaju Tinubu, they have shown
maturity.
And to the extent that they can do so, they've shown us that don't pay any attention to all of that. The president says he doesn't believe any of the whole story about Asiwaju working against his own party. He sees him as a priceless asset. Tinubu has congratulated, and I said before that there is no issue. But that is not to say that there are not signs, things that worried us. And we can go there.
In every relationship, even in marriages, there will always be signs of things that worry people.
But the people within the marriage say they're going to work at it.
Yeah, they work. I mean, there's no perfect marriage. You only have people working on marriage as an ongoing project. So when we want to look at this thing, we now remember that if it was a situation where the leader himself was looking for contracts from government, then we will now know that it's a dirty war. But it's not a case of a man who is looking for position in government. It's a case of a man who is thinking of the betterment of the country and is thinking of also putting round pegs in round holes. And let me tell you, even as a leader in small businesses, there are times that you just think somebody may not be good at a job.
Yeah.
But other people say, look, he can do it. He can do it. You say, no, I don't think he can do it. Then they give him a chance. And it surprises you. It surprises you. Let me tell you, when...
sorry, I understand you perfectly. Mr. Lawale is waiting from Ikorodu. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
And good morning for the other gentleman who are there. God bless you for
Dr. Omadeli.
Good morning.
For your good analysis.
Boyo.
Okay.
Yeah, Boyo. You see, very few politicians in Nigeria can be described as being technical, tactical, deft politicians. And Tinubu fits perfectly into that. He's a strategic politician. Even Bafarawa, when he was leaving ACN, he said the only notable politician in the Southwest that knows how to play the game is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You see, people read the list of these leaders and just jump at conclusions. I was privy to watch the grand finale of the
the rally.
Mohamed Buhari's attendance at the rally in Akure.
In Akure, okay.
One of the ministers, I won't mention his name, said those people who say we won't have it, we will have it at their back. You see, one such a statement is coming from a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who is of Southwest extraction. People just went to the market, okay? They went to town to give various interpretations to it. Yeah. But I am happy today that Ahmed Tinubu has demonstrated that he's a strategic politician in Nigeria and he knows how to play the game. He has congratulated the winner and he cannot destroy the house he has built. God bless you.
Thank you very much. And I don't know, for instance, Reverend Dominic called in earlier, and he's not the only person who has observed it, that when Akeredolu was doing his rounds of thanks, he didn't mention Tinubu. Now, I don't know. It could have been an oversight. It might not have been. Nobody knows. Yeah. These things happen. Whatever it is.
Yes, it doesn't matter anymore. Because at the end of the day, the man himself has congratulated him, and now the ball is
the right thing has been done.
The right thing has been done. You know, the ball is now in the court of Akeredolu to take over governance and prove that it's worthy of the confidence of the electorate.
Okay, we have to go to another break, but perhaps one of the reasons why all of this is coming up is that people who were, shall we say, co-travelers, people Asiwaju developed that are now in the administration, they are thinking did not side with him. Tinubu probably will be the first to say that it's their prerogative. Not that he would have liked it, he's a human being, but we did talk about pragmatism. Yeah. Maybe that's where a lot of this is coming from. But I don't know that Tinubu would want Dobodiesa, followers as a matter of fact. Let me take a break, come back, and then probably we go here. Stay with us, please. Welcome back. There's so many people on the line. Let's take Godwin. Good morning, Godwin.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you very much for calling in.
I'm one person who loves this your program too much.
So kind of you.
And some time ago, somebody walked into my office and was telling me some things that your program is meant for selected people, that it's only select people that calls you and you pick their call. And I argue with him badly. But surprisingly, for almost 3 months now, I've been calling every day, and there is no day my call did not enter.
It doesn't enter today now.
So today you were able to give the lie to that statement?
Today now, I've called my callers enter for more than 5 minutes, 5 times, and it is just now that they are picking my call. So I think you should do something about that. So that
I thought you were even going to credit us, but
make your station to look at this. It is for selected that.
But you've just given the lie to it. You've just given the lie to it. Please go ahead with your point. I'm really looking forward to your point.
Is that, look, let us tell ourselves the truth. The problem we have in this country is that the office is the problem. The office, is it governor, presidency, or whatever office? That is the problem. That is why people are not being fair. That is why people are not telling the truth. Because of what they are going to achieve from the time of their service. They are not even serving. They are going there to collect. That is the problem. That's why people are doing all sorts of things to make sure they get there. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much for calling in. And I'm so happy that you were able to give the lie to the idea that we censor calls. We don't. And you might notice that there are 2 lines put on there. Try the other one if you can't get through on one or the other. But I'm so happy that finally you were able to get through today.
You said it's the office that is the problem.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and that when people go there, they don't go there to work, they go there to collect. And that this office intoxicates and makes them to begin to dance the dance that they shouldn't dance. And that could be responsible for those who have been breached, those, like Chinua Achebe will say, that those whose coconuts were broken by the gods should not forget to be
by
grateful.
Divine providence, should not forget to be humble.
And truly, and that's always the problem. Those whose coconuts were broken by providence or the gods.
Providence or benevolent spirit or something like that.
Spirit, you should not forget to be grateful, to be thankful. Yeah. And I think that people, when they have been made up in life, it's all over the world. It's all over the world. It's a human spirit. When people are made up in life, something just tells them that, I mean, you are the one that got there yourself. You did the job. And when they get there, they remove the ladder. They used to climb there. And they said in Nigerian, when he gets to the top of a mountain, the first thing he does is to remove the ladder. You know, the second thing he does is to buy a hammer. In case somebody is trying to come up that same mountain through another route, he can give the person a knock and destroy him. So at the end of the day, he may be right. The office intoxicates. Okay. And people tend to fight against whatever method they used to get to the top.
Indeed. Mr. Amoke Odo, did I get that right? Calling in from Lekki. Good morning.
My name is Amoke Odo.
Thank you very much for calling in. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Mr. Yori,
yes, sir.
I'm wondering how much of the time we actually devote to the economy of this country. We come here, we discuss Tinubu, we discuss Buhari, and as we
not every time, not all the time.
Yeah, no problem. 1 minute, the price of rice now is above 20,000 naira, and people are suffering. I'm an APC chieftain, no doubt. But I am feeling the pain of the prices of goods, in the market. I think we should devote more time on the economy of this country. This topic today will not bring any food to the table of anybody, whether PDP or APC. The point I'm trying to make is that let us find solutions to this problem.
Thank you very much for calling in, and I couldn't agree with you anymore. But we segment these things. As you know, there are programs when we discuss nothing but the economy. And I'm not just talking about this morning, this program this morning. There are dedicated programs for the economy and business and all of that. But I take your point. If it's in the news, though, I'm afraid no apologies. We're going to be there. And Tinubu is priceless, according to the presidency, is in the news, and we thought we'd just air that a bit. Now, what has happened is that there are people who Tinubu nourished, found, developed in politics, and as it were, nowadays they've gone their own way. Is the perception people are seeing without knowing the facts. They will cite Fashola, for instance. They will cite Fayemi, for instance. A couple of other guys, but those two in particular. Now, people might not necessarily know what's going on. I don't know that Tinubu might not have liked it. I'm entirely speculating. But then I imagine he will be the first to say, every man to his own, different strokes for different folks. You know, if that's the way it is, so be it.
Yeah. And that's because these two guys, people believe that they got into the central government by their by their records, and not that they were sponsored by anybody. Okay. So they don't really know whether even Tinubu had a hand in their coming in. But at the end of the day, people just see them, oh, Fashola was so good in Lagos that the president must have picked him out of the crowd. I want this man with me, regardless of Tinubu's permission or not. And that's why Fayemi was picked to. But the truth is, if these guys, if Tinubu did not want them there, there are many ways to get them not to get there.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, Fashola came in.
And besides, when people talk, I remember Fayemi had to put out a statement that he never said some of the things that are being said he said.
Yeah, this is social media. This is the work of social media. I mean, I don't think you go to this crazy online stuff. Maybe you have defined the areas you go to on the net. Because if you go to some places in the net, you even hear that you have died.
Is that bad?
Is that bad? No. That falsehood reigns, and this falsehood tend to interest people more than the truth, and so people pursue those places just to get the kind of stories they want to hear, and that's why these things come up. Now, I want me to add this: these guys too that they are talking about should make every effort to also appear that they are not saying these things, because the body movement also of these guys may even be giving more credence to these stories, and so it's left for them to come out of the closet and say, look, man, we are not against this man, we appreciate him, he's done so well for us, and then whatever it is, it's not true.
Exactly.
But when these men keep quiet, we begin to think of who broke the coconut.
Yes.
Was it the benevolent spirit, or was it the man that used his own head to crack the coconut? So people want you to say it. Now, if you're going to get a party in order, there should be some level of discipline and there should be some level of interaction and cohesiveness. But when people begin to find out that the party movement, the way people are behaving, you could see that this man they're at war. And that's why what the president said became very important today. If the president did not make this statement today, the next few days will be like, oh, Buhari has installed Akeredolu. And so Buhari now has a faction in the southwest that will fight against Asiwaju in 2019. Yeah. And that's where the rumors will have gone.
And so a lot of people, you know, that are getting onto the train of the so-called demystification of the Asiwaju factor. There are a lot more people who know it simply is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Well, time will tell, as they say. And time will tell. But in the meantime, as we said, probably it's best to just keep our eyes on the two men, watch them, and take our cues from there.
Yes, watch them and take our cues from them. And then hoping that the president proves himself in the economy, like that guy said, because there are certain factors that will determine the next elections. It's not Bola Ahmed Tinubu or Buhari alone. It is that as change brought real change, as the economy improved, as security improved, as corruption nosedived.
And these are the points,
these are the issues that will come
and these are some of the issues. In fact, some of those issues the president mentioned in congratulating Akeredolu SAN, that the party stands against corruption. And, you know, Akeredolu himself has said that it's all about bringing prosperity to Ondo State. And the president said he was very, very happy that the people of Ondo had called it very much the way the party sees it. And this is a party that Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu is part of, as he quickly claimed. He claimed the victory of Akeredolu by congratulating him. But I suppose enough said, as somebody said, if it's there, we're going to talk about it.
We're going to watch it.
And we're going to watch it. Thank you very much for coming on, Amajili. Dr. Majili Boyo, you know, he keeps a keen eye on the polity. Appreciate your comments, as always. Bye-bye for now.